Obviously, it's a big weekend for our team. We're playing a team that's at the top of the league right now and playing great baseball, and got some older guys that their numbers are kind of scary when you look at them, especially offensively. They got good players up and down the lineup. They've played really well. They've beaten a lot of good people, coming off a big weekend last weekend against LSU. Obviously, we're coming off a couple tough weekends, and obviously our team was jolted a bolt with Clark Schmidt's injury news, and but we've had a good week of practice. Guys have worked extremely hard. They seem to be bouncing around the stadium in good spirits, and we're certainly anxious for the opportunity to play Kentucky and get off to a good start tomorrow night. Will throw tomorrow night. We'll move everybody up a day, and then we'll try to determine what we're going to do on Sunday within regards to how many guys we use in the bullpen, in the first 2 days. But it's a great opportunity for us. There's a lot of teams close together in the SEC, and every game is extremely important, certainly because of a couple of tough losses that we've had. And big important series, big important game starting tomorrow night against a great Kentucky team.
Would Tyler be an option for Sunday, depending on how much he throws, or if he doesn't throw the first 2 days?
I don't think he's going to be an option to start this Sunday. I think it is on the table going forward. Just because he hadn't had a chance to build up his stamina from a pitch count standpoint, and obviously he is coming off an injury. So I don't right now know. That being said, crazy things do happen, and if he doesn't pitch Friday or Saturday, could you start him to get off to a good start? Yes, but I don't think that's going to happen. We plan on using him if we can get a lead. Plan on using him in the first 2 days. But if we don't use any, it may be a bullpen guy to start Sunday though. It may not be our normal Tuesday guy. We'll see how it kind of plays out. But all hands are on deck. The first 2 games, and then we'll see who we got available and the best option that we have on Sunday. But going forward, as Tyler continues to get better and improve his stamina, that's certainly a conversation that we've had.
Would you be comfortable with Cody being that Sunday guy? Because you guys used him against Tennessee on Sunday.
Yeah, he threw. We threw all freshmen that game, and we threw well. We're at home, and he's certainly an option. But there's a number of guys that are options as well, not just Cody. And let's just see how we use our bullpen, and let's see how we match up with them. And they got some good left-handed hitters in there, and you might want to put some left-handed pitching in there to combat them from time to time. And if we hadn't used Park or Reagan, who knows? That might be a good option. But we really don't know, to be honest with you right now. We're going to try like crazy to win on Friday and use everybody we got, with the exception of Saturday starter, and just see where we are come Sunday. But Cody has been our 4th guy, so he's certainly in that conversation to throw Sunday, and we'll see how it kind of develops.
From a confidence standpoint, where are these guys mentally after the injury news?
Well, it was a jolt, but if I judge them by how they've practiced and the camaraderie they've had and how well they get along with each other and the enthusiasm they take the field with, then it's good. But winning breeds confidence too, and we need to get off to a good start this weekend and play our best baseball against a really red-hot team. But everyone feels for Clark, and Clark feels for. Clark was in tears, and it was very emotional, and he was emotional a great deal just because of he knows the effect it had on his teammates, and such a good kid. But we've pressed on this week, and Clark's going to be a big supporter in our dugout, and he's going to support the guys, and I think our guys are excited about playing. They know what's at stake, and they know what's at hand, and they certainly want to play well this weekend.
How's Clark doing emotionally?
It was tough for him. Obviously, he and his family put himself to be for a first-round draft pick, and he's still going to be drafted very, very high, and he's still going to be able to achieve all his goals in professional baseball, and we're going to be with him every step of the way. But it's been tough for him, and he'll be the first to admit it. But it's not the worst thing that's going to happen to Clark. He's going to be fine. He's going to come back better than ever. I think he realizes that, but it's going to be 12, 14, 16 months down the road.
He and his family have been through some tough times. Is he perhaps more prepared mentally to handle something like this than most college kids?
Well, that's what I told him, and when it was a tough day for him. And, I said, good Lord's prepared him. to go through some tough times, obviously, and having an injury and related to a sport in baseball is certainly not on the same scale and of the same magnitude that what his brother went through. And Clark understands that, and that's helped him keep it in perspective. He's a level-headed kid, but he's disappointed because he's obviously a big part of our team, and he wants our team to do well, and he's worked extremely hard to get to this point. I mean, this kid came in maybe not a highly recruited kid. I mean, he was highly recruited, but he wasn't maybe the top 25 picks in the country, but he's built himself into an elite prospect. Drafted low, now he's going to be a first rounder, and that was work ethic. And so that hurts when you invest so much and you have a setback like that. But he's okay. He's going to be fine, and he knows it. And got a great support system around him. His family's great. Clay's great for him. And there's no doubt he'll come back stronger than ever. He'll have a great baseball career.
Was his injury an ongoing developing thing, or was it just a pitch?
You just never know. When it comes to that ligament, you never know. It wasn't one pitch. He didn't feel pain. He felt tight, and we actually thought coming out that it was just forearm tightness, stiffness, and his muscle just kind of tightened up on him. And he's such an incredible, well-conditioned athlete that his symptoms were a lot different than others just because of how strong he is. And but he didn't have any of the tingling you have, or the pain, or the swelling, and it was just a little discomfort. And so I don't know if there's any way to say if it was a pitch or all I know is he felt great going into the game, felt great during the game, and he felt some tightness, and it had it was unfortunate. Every pitcher, it's their worst nightmare, so to speak, when it comes to pitching, and every pitcher understands that risk that it could happen. But he'll be, like I said, he'll be fine. He'll come back great. He's such a hard worker and a committed kid. There's no doubt he'll come back better than ever.
I guess something like this makes you even more grateful that you've got Will back from the same injury.
Well, Will helped Clark through it. I mean, unfortunately, Will was sitting on that couch, and after we got the news, and it was an emotional day for him a couple years ago, and Will sat right beside Clark the other day on that same couch when they got the news, and was there for Clark, and that was kind of neat, to see that a teammate being there for another teammate. And but yeah, Will's been in on the Friday night role before. He understands what it's like to pitch in this league, and obviously having him helps. And I think Will has helped Clark a great deal, over the last several days, because nobody understands the rehabilitation process like Will does, and he's encouraged Clark, and I think that's helped Clark be in better spirits as well.
Coach, what about for the team in terms of seeing what Will went through, now Clark going through this as well, the injury concerns? How is the team reacting to that after seeing what Will went through?
Well, the first couple hours weren't really good, I'll be honest with you. You're a little bit down in the dumps because you lost a tough series, and you're hopeful one of your top pitchers, if not your top pitcher, is going to be okay. And then you dealt another setback, and they're kids. They hung their heads a little bit, but you can only hang them for a few minutes, and we got to pick them back up and get out there and practice. They did. They've responded the right way, but you're not going to ultimately be able to tell until you see them how they respond between the white lines during a game. But if I can tell anything by how they've gone about their work this week, they've handled it the right way. It was an initial setback. Kids are resilient. They picked themselves back up and rallied around each other, and now we got to go try to play some great baseball to beat a great team.
Jack, what hasn't happened in the last few SEC series that you think has to happen to kind of get this team going?
Well, I think it's a combination of a few things. We've been a pitch away a number of times, and we've got to make that pitch when the game's on the line. But we can also do more offensively to create a little bit better cushion for our pitchers, and it goes hand in hand, this game. And we've played really, really good defense. We've pitched really well for the most part. But there's been a pitch here, a pitch there, in 3 or 4 games where we had an opportunity to make a pitch and win the game. We hadn't made it. And now we got to try through these next 12 games to try to get some of those 3 or 4 games back. And I've never been through a season where it's been so close. The kids have played hard. They've played well. They've played together. and we hadn't made a pitch here, or we hadn't got a big hit here, and the line has been so fine. But hopefully you keep the right attitude, you keep working hard, you stay together, and maybe we'll make our own breaks here in the next 12.
Was it tough to not have the midweek game to bounce back and have the opportunity to get back on the field? Taking place, or?
I don't know if you can. I don't know. I hope this week's been good for our players to take a deep breath with what's happened with them in the Clark situation, and they can kind of recover mentally and rest a little bit physically. They've had exam weeks, so there's lots been on their plate, when they've been away from here. But I don't know. I think you can ask me on Sunday if it was good to have a midweek game or not, and hopefully we have a great weekend and look back and say this week was very valuable for our guys to recharge their batteries. But I don't know how to predict that.
Everybody good academically, not losing anybody?
No, guys have done well academically. We don't foresee anything like that happening. That's one great thing. This group has been terrific for me all the way through. And we've lost some tough games and been so close. But, boy, they've taken care of their business. They stay together. They work hard. They're in the cages all the time. They're at the stadium all the time. They've done well in the classroom. So they've taken care of their business. So I don't foresee anything happening in regards to that.
What role do you see Clark taking the rest of the season with this team?
Well, I hope he's there, our biggest cheerleader, and create some emotion in our dugout and give our guys some confidence and be there for guys when things don't go well and cheer them up and pick them up. And, I hope he's just a bundle of energy in our dugout and creating some energy not only for our players in the dugout, but maybe some, maybe our fans that are, watching him, because you feel good when you see a guy that's gone through a lot and had some really tough news when you feel like he's okay. And I told Clark that it's going to make a huge impact on your team if, you can let them know everything's okay, that you're handling this the right way, that you're smiling, that you got a great, bright future in front of you. And, while you're disappointed, you're also going to be there for them. And that'll make some of his teammates feel good and hopefully play good. But he's got a powerful influence on his teammates because of the respect that he demands and how hard he's worked. So I have no doubt he'll have a positive impact on our team in the dugout, in the locker room, on the practice field as we go forward. He was out here all week. He's out here with them, and I think he's enjoying every minute of it.
Chad, any word on when he'll have the surgery, and was there any consideration of him wanting to finish his rehab here and maybe come back for a little bit and just show that he was back here in South Carolina, or is he get locked onto the pros?
Well, you never know where his rehab is going to. Well, let me go back to your first question. Surgery hasn't been a set time yet. We're still working through that. Two, he's going to be drafted in a position that's going to be tough for him he's put himself in a great spot, and with this injury or without it, he's put himself in a great spot, and it's going to be an opportunity that he probably, without question, needs to take on that challenge and that opportunity and go forward in professional baseball. That being said, he's always going to be back here, and sometimes during the off season, the club that drafts him may want him to rehab here, and he's certainly welcome here, and I can see him back here quite a bit. But that's going to be up to the club, and he's always going to be part of our program. He's always going to be around here. But as far as coming back and pitching here, I don't think that's going to be feasible, just because he's pitched well enough and he's such a high prospect that he's put himself in a position for a great opportunity professionally.
So you don't think major league teams are going to pump the brakes on this just because of
I wouldn't, because you see so many successes of guys that have come back from the surgery and even been better than before. You never know, but that's a great prospect, a great kid, high character, and I would want him in my organization if I'm a GM or I'm a scouting director, because he's going to give you everything he's got. He's got great stuff. He's got great character. He's got great work ethic. He's clean cut. Does everything the right way. So I see him being highly sought after come draft day. Now, will it be as high before the injury? I don't know, but guys are drafting kids now. They're looking at them being in the big leagues 3 or 4 years down the road. He can still be in the big leagues 3 or 4 years down the road, and so I would expect him to have a great opportunity in front of him come draft day.
Anything else, guys?
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you very much.